What's up, party people? Soft tissue time for the Flexor Carpi Ulnaris. Coach Jamie Dreyer here, and I'm going to show you a couple of different ways you can dig in on that nice little tight, sometimes tight sucker that runs essentially from this aspect of your elbow down below the wrist. All right, this can get a little tight, and it can actually sometimes put a little tension and too much pressure on your ulnar nerve, cause some ulnar nerve entrapment issues. Okay, so this is the best way that I found to dig in on this sucker. I actually like grabbing some small, pretty firm balls. I've tried playing, oh God, this is gonna be full of innuendos, huh? I've tried playing around with some bigger, softer balls, and it didn't quite work the same way because it just wasn't enough direct pressure on the trigger point. So, I mean, if all you got is a tennis ball or something, or whatever the heck this is, then go ahead and use it. But I actually found one of these little hard rubber balls that, you know, used to find at the grocery store for a quarter as a kid to actually be one of the best ones. You can also use a golf ball or something like that, maybe a squash ball. So here's what you do. Lay that sucker down on the table, get down, and start digging around. Slowly take your time, leaning some pressure on there. Move it around nice and slow so you don't flip and flop back over the muscle too much. At first, I kind of use the edge of my ulnar bone as a guide because the muscle kind of goes along the side of it. And then as the muscle starts to soften up and I can kind of get in there a little bit and it's not popping around as much, then I'll start to go more directly onto the flexor carpi ulnaris muscle and dig around. And I kind of like to rock around and soften things up a bit, okay? So it's that simple. Just gonna dig in there, laying onto some type of very cheap, inexpensive ball. The next thing that you could do, it's gonna be a little bit different. If you've got a stick around, you could dig in like this, right? I find this is, it's just a very different feel because it's broad as you're going across it. And I don't get the same pressure. But if this is what you got and you ain't got no balls, then use your stick, all right? Use what you got. The last thing that you could play around with, if you've got one, is a massager. This is the Pure Wave, and you can also use a sucker to kind of dig in there. Just find your trigger point and lean in and let it do its job. Kind of wiggle it around a little bit, looking for those tender spots. That's it. Have some fun. Later.